Hello everyone, welcome to mvpvishwakosha. Today we are discussing 30 and 31st August 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is about PM Modi said that India will very soon become the world's third largest economy. Okay, so that Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserted that India will very soon become the world's third largest economy, as reported by the Hindu. Okay, and also some around the same time, at the Economic Times of World Leaders Forum, he reiterated that India is on track to become the third largest economy, citing strong economic fundamental such as low inflation, narrowing fiscal deficit, robust forex reserve, record job additions, and rising domestic participation. He also pledged to complete next generation GST reforms before Diwali, and also he urged private R&D investment in emerging sector like clean energy, quantum tech, and battery storage, advanced materials, and biotechnology. And also further affirming that statement, India's RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra noted that India is on track to become the third largest economy, and also largely thanks to inclusive initiative like the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, and also which opened 55 crore, okay, that is accounts, and enhanced financial inclusion and all that. Okay, so that is very important. That is, India is currently the fourth largest economy, having recently surpassed Japan. And also PM Modi's statement, and also that the Jan Dhan Yojana scheme and the next generation, that is GST reform. And also India is projected to be the third largest economy, surpassing Germany and possibly Japan in the, that is possible that Japan in near future, all that. Okay, so that exam perspective, all that macroeconomic stability over past decade, low inflation, fiscal discipline, and institutional strength, deepening financial inclusion, that Jan Dhan, growing domestic investment, and also upcoming policy reforms, all that is very important. Next news, that is there is a EY report, okay, that is projecting that India may become the world's second largest economy by 2038. Okay, that is EY Economy Watch. India's GDP in purchasing power parity terms is projected to reach approximately USD 20.7 trillion by 2030, and by 2038 it may become the world's second largest economy with the GDP of around USD 34.2 trillion. So despite 50% tariff imposed by the US, okay, that is on recent that is EY report, okay, that is suggested that the appropriate countermeasures like export diversification and boosting domestic demand, and also the adverse impact on India's real GDP growth can be contained to around 10 basis point, that is 0.1%. Okay, and also India is projected to become the second largest economy in PPP terms by 2038 with the USD 34 trillion. That is India's projected GDP in terms 2030 and all that, and also mitigation of US tariff, all that. And also India is currently third largest economy in PPP terms behind China and US and all. Okay, all that is demography advantage and strong fundamental and resilience and adaptability, all that export diversification, and also China, US, all that, and Germany, Japan, all that issues. Okay, all that is very important. Next news, so that is about India's recent 7.8% GDP growth. Okay, so India's real GDP growth from April June quarter, okay, that is quarter one of financial year 2025-26, surged to 7.8%. Very good move. That is the fastest in 5 quarters, exceeding both market forecast and RBI estimate. The chief economic advisor described this as a sign of strengthening growth momentum and macroeconomic stability, attributing to its robust consumption and investment. And also HSB and India, however, cautioned that lower GDP deflators, that is reflecting softer inflation, maybe overstating, stating that real growth, especially in service and manufacturing sector. You should know about that fact that India's GDP grew is 7.8% in the April-June quarter of financial year 2025-26. And also this marks the highest quarterly growth in the 5 quarters. Also data released by the National Statistical Office, and also real GDP growth surpassed the both RBI projection of 6.5% and broadcast forecast, that is 6.6% to 6.7%. Very good move. And also drives behind the surge domestic demand, strong uptick in private consumption and investment, and sector strength, solid expansion in manufacturing and service. Agriculture also contributed meaningfully. Statistical, all that is very important. Next news that is about recent secret letter from China to India. That is Chinese President Jinping sent an confidential secret letter to Indian President Draupadi Murmu. With its content also shared with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in an effort to mend strained India-China relations. And also the letter conveyed China's concern about potential India-US agreement that could undermine Chinese strategic interest, and even named the provincial official to lead Beijing's renewed outreach. And also this diplomatic move helped revive bilateral ties. And also in this communication, Jinping notably referred to US President Donald Trump as a great peacemaker, a remark reported to have created a impetus for a closer India-China engagement amid escalating US tariff pressure. So all that is very important, that Jinping's secret letter to President Murmu also relate to PM Modi, that is to that India-China ties, and also Trump dubbed a great peacemaker, striking diplomatic note. And also this initiative occurred as a critical juncture marked rise Sino-American trade friction strained bilateral ties. All that India-China tensions, all that growing alignment between India and the US, and also China sought re-engage diplomatically to mitigate India's tilt and safeguard its regional interest. All that is very important. Next is Prime Minister Narendra Modi recent visit to Japan, that is, and the 50th India-Japan Annual Summit. Very important. That is Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Japan, right? So India-Japan, and also 15th India-Japan Annual Summit with Japanese PM Shigeru Ishiba. And also this marks Modi's 8th visit to Japan and first standalone summit with PM Ishiba. Also some FDI, that's agreement and initiative. Japan pledged to increase private investment in India, that is to 10 trillion USD, that is 68 billion over the next decade, up to approximately USD 27 billion over the past decade. And also human resource and education also plan to facilitate the movement of 5 lakh workers and students between the two nations over 5 years, including 50,000 skilled and semi-skilled Indian workers. Strategically, collaboration launched the joint vision of cooperation in security, clean energy, technology, space and defense, strong reaffirmation of the Quad Alliance and support for free, open, rules-based Indo-Pacific, all that. And also infrastructure tech explored the E10 Shinshan high-speed bullet train and also other defense and infrastructure project. India-Japan Innovation Pact in semiconductors, AI and critical minerals, underpinned by talks a semiconductor facility in Sendai and all. And also space collaboration announced a joint Chandrayaan 5 mission between ISRO and Japan JAXA, focusing on lunar exploration with special emphasis on water and ice deposits. And also additional outcomes, joint condemnation of terrorism and renewed Make in India, Make Up for the World push, emphasizing innovation and manufacturing. And also diplomatic significance. This visit is a strategic reinforcement of the special strategic and global partnership, emphasizing India and Japan's shared values and increasing interdependence. And also enhanced Quad alignment, a collective approach to Indo-Pacific security, especially crucial amid growing geopolitical stress and trade tensions. All that is very important. 50th India-Japan Annual Summit, first with PM Ishiba, and also all that key pledges, that is USD 68 billion Japanese investment, all that. Okay, 5 lakh people exchange, including 50,000 skilled workers, all that initiative, bullet train, semiconductor AI cooperation, Chandrayaan 5 lunar mission, all that is very, very important. Next news, that is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, that is completing 11 years. Okay, so that is PM Narendra Modi, that is on launched on 28th August 2014. Okay, so there is a very good scheme, that is a financial inclusion, that is providing universal access to banking facility, basic saving account, credit, remittances, insurance and pensions. And also main motto is that Mera Khata Bhagya Vidata. Okay, my account, my fortune maker. Very important. And also implemented by Department of Financial Service, that is Ministry of Finance. Okay, some of the key features in that: zero balance account, opening of saving account with no minimum balance, RuPay debit card issues to all account holders, overdraft facility rupees 10,000 after satisfactory account operation. Also insurance cover, accidental insurance cover up to 2 lakh, life insurance cover up to rupees that is 30,000 for account opened before Jan 2015. And also direct benefit transfer used for transforming government subsidies, financial literacy linked with promoting banking awareness. All that some of the achievements in this is account opened over 53 crore beneficiaries. Total deposit more than rupees 2.3 lakh crore. Women beneficiaries about 56% account holders are women. Rural reach nearly 67% accounts in rural semi-urban areas. Rupee card issued over 33 crore helped India achieve near universal banking penetration. All that is very important. That is part of financial inclusion scheme related to that economy. Linked Digital India Jam the Trinity, that is Jandan, Aadhaar, Mobile, and also all that is 11th anniversary of that. It is very important. Next news, that is recent India's appointment at the IMF. Okay. So that is Dr. Urjit Patel, former governor of the Reserve Bank of India, has been appointed as executive director representing India at the International Monetary Fund for 3-year tenure starting in September 2025. His appointment comes after he succeeded Dr. Krishnamurthy Subramanian, whose term at the IMF ended earlier this year. Dr. Patel is one of the India's most distinguished economists, celebrated for his stewardship of inflation targeting monetary policy during his tenure at RBI. Very important, that is Dr. Urjit Patel, ex-RBI governor, 2016 to 18, appointed India's executive director at IMF. Okay, 3-year tenure. Okay, starting September 2025. It is brings finance expertise to represent India regional. That is very important. Okay, including that is, and also regional constituency including Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan on IMF executive board. Very important. IMF, all that executive board comprises 25 executive directors. India, along with Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka, forms an constituency represented in that. Okay. Dr. Patel is deep understanding the global macroeconomic governance and central banking, strengthen India's participation in global finance governance. All that is very important. Next news, that is about key findings, that is on air quality, that is on air quality life index. Okay, so in this air pollution steals for 1000 days of life. A recent report of Energy Policy Institute at the University of Chicago reveals a startling reality that every Indian, every those in relatively cleaner regions is effectively losing over 1000 days, that is 2.7 years of life due to polluted air. In this cleanest areas, life expectancy could increase by nearly 10 months if air quality met global standards. So all that life expectancy reduction by 3.5 years, citing WHO findings in 2023 University of Chicago study. So and highlighted that India's average life expectancy has dropped by 3.5 years because of toxic air exposure. In Delhi NCR, resident could lose up to 8.8 2 years. Okay. And Gurgaon's a temporary, that is a good air days. Okay, Gurgaon briefly experienced 2 consecutive good air quality. Okay, that is air quality index of 30-35 attributed to recent rain and wind and all. So all that is exam perspective very important. That is average life lost, life expectancy. Gurgaon, all that concept, that is what is that air quality index. All that is very important. Air quality life index. Okay. As public health, socio-economic, regional disparities, policy response and governance, sustainable development, all that goals are very important. Okay, that is about air quality index. Next news, that is about Nuakhai festival. Okay, celebration and Prime Minister Modi's greeting. That is Nuakhai, the agrarian harvest festival of Western Odisha, was celebrated with the vibrancy across rural and urban areas. That is, families offered the season's first paddy bana to deities such as goddess Samaleshwari before sharing the meal communally, and rituals were held household and temples including Sambalpur's Samaleshwari temple where dignitaries like union ministers joined the worship, and community spirit in Jumirial, Sundargarh Jurial village, 163 household came together to celebrate as a community, not in an isolation. Okay, shared meals, rituals, folk dance, folk games honoring women through symbolic gesture, all that. Okay, that is that reconciliation tradition like Junar Bet marked the inclusive celebration that transcended social barriers. Okay, all that on Nuakhai, Odisha Chief Minister dispersed rupees 1041 crore via DBT. Okay, and also PM Modi greetings message to gratitude. Prime Minister Narendra Modi posted warm wishes on his official platform, emphasizing the festival spirit of gratitude and unity and acknowledge the hard work of farmers as the backbone of nation. All that Nuakhai festival is very important for exam perspective. A major harvest festival on Western Odisha celebrated on that Panchami Tithi, okay, of Bhadrapada. On the PM Modi's extend greetings. Odisha government all that amount to farmers under CM Kishan cultural celebration. All that is cultural and agrarian significance, social inclusivity model, agri welfare and policy focus, symbolic messaging and national leadership. All that is very important. Next news, that is recent satellite launched by Indian startup Pixel and Drurjithpatelimf. Okay, so that is a recent news that Pixel, Bengaluru and Drurjithpatelimf Hyderabad recently made headlines by launching their satellites aboard SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket as part of Redisir mission from Vandenberg, California. This event marks a major milestone for India's private space sector. Pixel launched three more Firefly satellite, completing the first phase of its private hyperspectral satellite constellation. And also that is Dhruv Space Leap 1 satellite. Its first commercial mission carried advanced AI and hyperspectral imaging payloads from Australian partners Akultech and Esper Satellite. Both startup are part of consortium selected under InSpace UOPPP model, tasked with designing, building, and operating India's first fully indigenous commercial Earth observation satellite network, comprising 12 satellites worth over rupees dollar rupees over 1,200 crore. Okay, approximately dollar 137 million. So, example perspective startup that Pixel and Drurjithpatelimf both are important. Okay, on board SpaceX Falcon 9 international collaboration and global access constellations. All that is milestone very important. Promoting private sector in space technology and commercial edge. All that is strategic autonomy and data sovereignty. All that is global collaborations policy. All that is very important. Okay, that is about recent news. Okay, Pixel and Drurjithpatelimf. That is about 30 and 31st August 2025 current affairs. Thank you. Support me for further videos so that I can analyze all the topics required for UPSC and all competitive exams. Thank you.